Prosperity is not a matter of chance, nor is it the reward of relentless struggle alone. It is the natural outcome of right thinking, right feeling, and right action consistently practiced. Wealth flows to those who understand its laws and align themselves with them, just as health and harmony come to those who respect the laws of the body and the mind. Everyday millionaires are not magicians of money, they are students of order, discipline, and inner conviction. Their financial lives are the outer expression of an inner agreement with abundance. One of the first habits they share is respect for money as a living force. They do not fear it, worship it, or resent it. They recognize money as a servant that responds faithfully to clear direction. Through thoughtful spending, intentional saving, and purposeful giving, they keep money in active circulation, knowing that what is wisely directed returns multiplied. Waste, impulse, and neglect are replaced with awareness and calm decision-making, creating a steady rhythm of inflow and outflow. Another shared habit is the practice of consistency over excitement. Everyday millionaires understand that small, repeated actions carry immense power. They invest regularly, save methodically, and plan patiently. Rather than chasing sudden gains, they choose steady progress. This habit reflects a deep trust in gradual growth, and an understanding that enduring wealth is built brick by brick, not seized in a single leap. Their calm persistence shields them from fear during downturns and arrogance during success. They also cultivate the habit of clarity. Clear goals, clear budgets, and clear priorities guide their financial behavior. Confusion scatters energy, but clarity concentrates it. By knowing exactly what they want their money to accomplish, they eliminate hesitation and self-sabotage. This clarity is not rigid, it is flexible and alive, allowing adjustment without panic, and progress without strain. Everyday millionaires further share the habit of self-investment. They continually expand their understanding through learning, skill development, and wise counsel. They see education as a form of wealth that no market can erase. By increasing their value, they naturally increase their income and opportunities. This habit stems from the belief that the mind is the greatest asset, and that ideas are the true source of riches. Finally, they practice emotional mastery around finances. They do not allow fear, envy, or impatience to govern their decisions. Gratitude replaces anxiety, and faith replaces doubt. Even in uncertainty, they expect good outcomes and act accordingly. This emotional steadiness creates harmony between thought and action, allowing opportunities to appear without force or desperation. Thus, the financial habits of everyday millionaires are not merely techniques but expressions of inner alignment. Their wealth is the visible result of invisible disciplines practiced daily, quietly, and with unwavering confidence in the law of increase. Intentional and disciplined money management. Intentional and disciplined money management is the quiet agreement the mind makes with order, and order is the first visible sign of abundance. Money responds to consciousness, and where there is respect, there is increase. The everyday millionaire does not drift financially, for drifting scatters energy and dissolves substance. Each coin, each note, each digital number is treated as a messenger carrying future possibilities, and so it is directed with care. Discipline is not restriction but freedom, for when money is managed with intention, fear dissolves, and confidence takes its place. The individual no longer wonders where money goes, because every movement is known and guided. Intentional management begins with awareness. Awareness is the lamp that reveals waste, impulse, and unconscious habit. Many believe money disappears mysteriously, yet it simply follows the path laid out by thought and action. The everyday millionaire watches this path calmly, without blame or guilt, understanding that correction is always available. By observing spending patterns, unnecessary leaks are gently closed, not through force, but through understanding. Awareness transforms chaos into cooperation, and money begins to stay, grow, and multiply. Discipline follows awareness as its natural companion. Discipline is not harshness, it is loyalty to one's purpose. The disciplined mind does not betray future security for momentary pleasure. It asks before every financial action, does this serve my vision of prosperity and peace? Through this question, choices align themselves naturally. Saving becomes an act of self-respect rather than sacrifice. Budgets become maps of intention rather than cages of limitation. In this atmosphere, money feels welcomed and safe, and what feels safe tends to remain. Everyday millionaires also understand the law of circulation. Money hoarded stagnates, and money wasted rebels. Intentional management keeps money moving wisely, balancing inflow, retention, and outflow. They save without fear, spend without guilt, and give without anxiety. Giving is not an emotional reaction, but a conscious acknowledgement that supply is endless. When money is released with wisdom and gratitude, it returns in unexpected channels. This rhythm of circulation keeps finances alive and responsive. Planning is another expression of disciplined intention. Plans are not rigid demands placed upon life but clear invitations extended to it. The everyday millionaire plans expenses, investments, and future needs with calm expectation, not with tension. Planning affirms faith in continuity and stability. It tells the subconscious mind that tomorrow is prepared for, and this assurance attracts cooperation from circumstances and people alike. Sudden expenses lose their power to disturb because foresight has already created space for them. Debt is also approached with intention rather than avoidance or shame. Disciplined money managers do not deny obligations, they face them with clarity. They understand that debt is not a moral failure but a condition that responds to order and focus. Through structured repayment and conscious borrowing, debt gradually loses its hold. Each payment is seen as a step toward freedom rather than a punishment for the past. This attitude dissolves resistance and accelerates resolution. Another vital element is the separation of emotion from impulsive spending. The everyday millionaire does not use money to soothe anxiety, boredom, or insecurity. Emotional spending is recognized as misplaced energy. Instead, emotions are addressed at their source, and money is allowed to serve its true purpose. This mastery prevents cycles of regret and reinforces self-trust. When trust in oneself grows, financial decisions become simpler and more effective. Intentional money management also includes preparation for expansion. Savings are not merely for emergencies but for opportunities. The disciplined individual expects good ideas, profitable ventures, and inspired actions to appear. By maintaining financial readiness, they can say yes to growth without fear. Opportunity favors those who are prepared to receive it. This readiness is a silent affirmation of belief in abundance. The everyday millionaire treats record-keeping as a form of respect. Tracking finances is not an act of control but of clarity. Numbers become friendly indicators rather than sources of stress. Clear records remove confuse. Ion and prevent self-deception. Where there is honesty with oneself, there is power. This honesty strengthens intuition, allowing decisions to be made swiftly and accurately. Time is also managed alongside money. Disciplined money management recognizes that time and money are partners. Wasted time often leads to wasted money, and purposeful time multiplies financial results. Everyday millionaires align their daily actions with long-term intentions, ensuring that effort and expenditure move in the same direction. This alignment creates momentum, and momentum attracts ease. Above all, intentional and disciplined money management is rooted in self-respect. The individual who values themselves values their resources. They no longer seek validation through spending nor punishment through deprivation. Balance becomes natural. With each conscious choice, confidence deepens, and confidence is magnetic to prosperity. Money responds to this inner order by arranging itself in supportive patterns, opening channels, stabilizing income, and revealing paths previously unseen. Consistent investing and long-term thinking. Consistent investing and long-term thinking arise from an understanding that growth is governed by law, not by hurry. Wealth unfolds the way a strong tree grows, silently, steadily, and with deep roots hidden from view. The everyday millionaire does not ask money to perform miracles overnight, but invites it to mature through patience and faith. This attitude removes strain from financial effort and replaces it with quiet expectancy. Each investment becomes a seed planted in confidence, trusted to respond in its appointed season. Consistency is the language of trust. When actions are repeated calmly over time, they impress the subconscious with certainty. The everyday millionaire invests regularly, not because markets are perfect, but because order is powerful. SMA. LL amounts placed faithfully carry more force than large amounts placed sporadically. This rhythm dissolves fear of timing and replaces it with belief in accumulation. Money learns the path it is expected to follow and continues along it without resistance. Long-term thinking frees the mind from emotional turbulence. Short-term thinking reacts to noise, rumor, and temporary conditions, while long-term thinking listens to principle. Everyday millionaires do not allow daily fluctuations to disturb their inner balance. They understand that value expresses itself over time, and that temporary decline is not loss but movement. This steadiness allows them to remain invested while others retreat, strengthening their position through calm endurance. Patience is not passive waiting but active faith. The long-term thinker continues disciplined action even when results are invisible. This faith is not blind optimism, but alignment with natural law. Just as the soil works invisibly before the sprout appears, investments compound quietly before rewards are seen. The everyday millionaire respects this unseen process and does not interfere with doubt or impatience. Interference weakens momentum, while trust strengthens it. Consistency also removes the burden of decision fatigue. When investing becomes habitual, the mind is freed from constant questioning. Decisions made once and followed faithfully conserve mental energy. This simplicity protects against impulsive reactions driven by fear or excitement. The everyday millionaire prefers systems over speculation, structure over surprise. Through this preference, money grows without emotional disturbance. Long-term thinking encourages diversification and balance. Rather than seeking one dramatic outcome, the everyday millionaire allows wealth to form through many supportive channels. This approach reflects faith in abundance rather than dependence on a single source. By spreading risk and opportunity, they create stability. Stability invites growth, and growth seeks stability. This harmony reduces anxiety and strengthens persistence. Another aspect of long-term thinking is respect for compounding. Compounding is the quiet miracle of multiplication responding to time and consistency. Everyday millionaires understand that time is not an enemy, but an ally. They allow gains to remain invested, trusting the law of increase. Removing profits too early interrupts the compounding flow, while patience magnifies results. This understanding shifts focus from immediate reward to enduring prosperity. Consistency also builds identity. Repeated actions shape self-concept. The individual who invests consistently begins to see themselves as a steward of wealth rather than a seeker of money. This identity influences choices beyond investing, affecting spending, learning, and planning. When identity changes, behavior follows naturally. Money responds to this new self-image by aligning opportunities accordingly. Long-term thinkers are not discouraged by slow beginnings. They know that momentum builds gradually. Early stages often appear unimpressive, yet they hold the blueprint of future expansion. Everyday millionaires do not measure success prematurely. They remain loyal to the process, understanding that loyalty is rewarded. This loyalty stabilizes effort and invites favorable conditions to cooperate. Fear of missing out loses its power under long-term vision. Trends come and go, but principle remains. Everyday millionaires do not chase every new opportunity that promises quick reward. They choose alignment over excitement. This restraint is not limitation but wisdom. By saying no to distraction, they say yes to focus. Focus concentrates energy, and concentrated energy produces results. Consistency also emotional neutrality. Investing regularly, regardless of market mood, builds inner strength. The everyday millionaire learns to act from intention rather than emotion. This emotional mastery is essential, for wealth flees panic and confusion. Calm repetition communicates confidence, and confidence attracts stability. Over time, emotional neutrality becomes natural. Long-term thinking includes preparation for cycles. Expansion and contraction are natural movements. The everyday millionaire does not resist cycles but plans with them in mind. During expansion, they remain grounded. During contraction, they remain faithful. This adaptability without fear preserves continuity. Continuity is the bridge between effort and fulfillment. Education supports consistency. Long-term thinkers invest time in understanding what they invest in. Knowledge deepens conviction. And conviction strengthens consistency. The everyday millionaire does not follow blindly but learns steadily. Learning transforms uncertainty into informed trust. With understanding comes patience, and with patience comes endurance. Ultimately, consistent investing and long-term thinking reflect alignment with universal order. They affirm belief in growth, continuity, and intelligent increase. The individual who thinks long-term releases the need to force outcomes. They cooperate with time instead of resisting it. Through this cooperation, money expands naturally, relationships with wealth become peaceful, and prosperity unfolds as a stable, living presence, rather than a fleeting event. Clarity of financial goals and priorities. Clarity of financial goals and priorities is the act of bringing light into what was once vague, and light is always creative. Where clarity exists, confusion dissolves, and where confusion dissolves, power returns to the individual. Money responds instantly to clear direction, just as mind responds to a definite command. The everyday millionaire does not wander mentally about finances, hoping abundance will appear by chance. They decide first, and life rearranges itself to reflect that decision. Clarity begins with knowing what prosperity truly means on a personal level. It is not borrowed definitions or comparisons with others that guide the financially clear mind. Each goal is chosen deliberately, aligned with peace, freedom, and purpose. When goals are authentic, motivation becomes effortless. The mind no longer resists action because it recognizes its own desire in the vision presented to it. Money then becomes a tool for fulfillment, rather than a symbol of status or fear. Clear financial goals act as magnets. They draw resources, ideas, and opportunities into alignment. Vague wishes scatter energy, but precise intentions concentrate it. The everyday millionaire does not say, "I want more money," but holds a defined picture of what money is meant to accomplish. This picture impresses the subconscious, which begins to notice paths previously unseen. Opportunities that once passed unnoticed suddenly appear obvious and accessible. Priorities give structure to clarity. Without priorities, goals compete with one another, creating inner conflict. The everyday millionaire arranges financial intentions in order of importance, allowing energy to flow without obstruction. Essential needs are secured first, followed by growth, enjoyment, and contribution. This hierarchy prevents guilt and anxiety, for each expense and investment has its rightful place. When money knows where it belongs, it behaves obediently. Clarity also eliminates unnecessary struggle. Many financial difficulties arise not from lack of income, but from lack of direction. When priorities are unclear, money is pulled in opposing directions. One desire cancels another, and progress slows. The everyday millionaire resolves this by choosing deliberately and releasing what does not serve the present vision. Letting go of lower priorities creates immediate relief and renewed momentum. Decision-making becomes simpler under clarity. The question shifts from, "Can I afford this?" to "Does this align with my priorities?" This shift empowers rather than restricts. Even when resources are limited, clarity ensures they are used wisely. Wise use multiplies effectiveness. Small amounts directed clearly outperform large amounts spent without purpose. Clarity also strengthens discipline naturally. Discipline enforced through willpower alone eventually exhausts itself. Discipline arising from clarity feels effortless, because it is supported by understanding. The everyday millionaire does not need to fight temptation constantly. When goals are vivid and priorities respected, distractions lose their appeal. The mind chooses alignment instinctively, protecting resources without strain. Another aspect of clarity is the courage to be specific. Specificity removes ambiguity, and ambiguity weakens intention. The everyday millionaire specifies amounts, timelines, and purposes. This specificity is not rigid control but conscious cooperation with intelligence. It tells the inner mind exactly what to work toward. Results follow specificity as shadow follows form. Clarity also includes knowing what to say no to. Every yes contains many no's, and this selection shapes destiny. The everyday millionaire understands that refusal is not loss, but preservation of energy. By declining what does not align, they protect their capacity to say yes to what truly matters. This discernment prevents burnout and financial leakage. Emotional clarity around money is equally important. Unresolved beliefs, fears, and inherited attitudes cloud priorities. The everyday millionaire examines these gently and releases those that no longer serve. They refuse to let past mistakes define future decisions. Clarity restores neutrality, allowing money choices to be made calmly rather than reactively. Calm decisions compound into stable outcomes. Clarity also enhances communication. When financial goals are clear, Discussions with partners, family, and advisors become productive rather than stressful. Expectations are known, boundaries are respected, and cooperation increases. Misunderstandings decrease because intention is transparent. Transparency invites trust, and trust accelerates progress. Long-term vision is anchored by short-term clarity. The everyday millionaire bridges the future and the present through clear priorities. Daily actions reflect long-range intentions. Spending, saving, and investing are no longer isolated acts but parts of a unified design. This integration creates harmony between thought and action. Clarity. Thank you further protects against external influence. Trends, opinions, and social pressure lose their power when inner direction is firm. The everyday millionaire listens to advice but decides independently. They measure information against their priorities before accepting it. This autonomy prevents regret and strengthens confidence. As clarity deepens, confidence grows. Confidence attracts opportunity effortlessly. People trust those who know what they want. Situations rearrange themselves to support decisive individuals. Money flows towards certainty because certainty is stable. Stability invites expansion. Clarity is renewed regularly. Goals evolve, and priorities shift with growth. The everyday millionaire revisits intentions without fear, adjusting as wisdom increases. Adjustment is not failure but refinement. Each refinement sharpens focus and strengthens alignment. In this state of clarity, effort becomes purposeful and results become predictable. Money ceases to be chaotic and becomes cooperative. The individual moves forward without inner resistance, guided by clear intention and ordered priorities, allowing prosperity to express itself through calm direction and conscious choice. Continuous self-investment and learning. Continuous self-investment and learning is the recognition that the true source of wealth is consciousness expanded through understanding. Money is an effect, never the cause. When the mind grows, income follows as a natural shadow. The everyday millionaire understands that no external condition can permanently elevate financial life beyond the level of inner development. For this reason, they invest first in the instrument through which all wealth flows, their own awareness, skill, and perception. Self-investment begins with the belief that growth is always possible. This belief dissolves stagnation. The individual no longer waits for permission, rescue, or perfect circumstances. They actively seek knowledge that sharpens judgment and expands capacity. Learning is not treated as a phase, but as a way of life. Each new insight becomes a tool, and each tool increases leverage. Wealth responds to leverage because leverage multiplies effort. Everyday millionaires read, observe, listen, and reflect. They understand that information alone is not power, applied understanding is. Learning is absorbed slowly and used deliberately. Rather than collecting ideas endlessly, they integrate what is useful and discard what is distracting. This selective learning protects focus and strengthens results. When learning aligns with intention, it accelerates progress without overwhelm. Self-investment also includes skill refinement. Skills are bridges between ideas and income. The everyday millionaire improves skills that increase value, efficiency, and influence. They understand that higher value commands higher reward. By refining communication, leadership, technical, or creative abilities, they expand their usefulness. Usefulness attracts opportunity naturally. Opportunity responds to those who are prepared to serve it. Learning further develops adaptability. Markets change, systems evolve, and tools advance. The individual committed to continuous growth does not fear change, because learning provides stability. What appears as disruption to others becomes advantage to the prepared mind. Adaptability preserves relevance, and relevance sustains income. The everyday millionaire remains current without anxiety, because learning has become habitual. Self-investment is also an act of self-respect. Choosing to grow affirms worthiness. The individual sends a silent message to life that they are ready for more responsibility and greater reward. This message is reflected back through expanded roles, trust, and compensation. Life mirrors self-valuation accurately and without exception. Learning also sharpens intuition. As understanding deepens, decision-making becomes clearer. The everyday millionaire learns to distinguish between noise and signal, between fear and wisdom. This discernment prevents costly errors and reveals subtle opportunities. Intuition refined by knowledge becomes reliable. Reliable intuition saves time, money, and energy. Another aspect of continuous self-investment is learning from experience without self-judgment. Mistakes are viewed as instruction rather than failure. Each outcome provides feedback. The everyday millionaire extracts insight calmly and moves forward wiser. This emotional neutrality accelerates mastery. Growth continues uninterrupted because resistance has been removed. Mentorship and guidance also play a role. The everyday millionaire values learning from those who have already walked the path. This shortens time and reduces unnecessary struggle. Guidance is not dependency but intelligent efficiency. By listening with humility, they avoid repeating avoidable errors. Humility attracts wisdom, and wisdom preserves wealth. Self-investment includes mental conditioning. Thoughts shape behavior, and behavior shapes results. The everyday millionaire becomes aware of internal dialogue and refines it deliberately. Limiting beliefs are replaced with constructive assumptions. This inner education is subtle yet powerful. When the mind expects expansion, actions align effortlessly with growth. Time is considered a learning asset. Moments are used consciously. Idle time becomes observation, reflection, or skill practice. This does not create strain but flow. Learning integrated into daily life feels natural and sustainable. Over time, this compounds into expertise. Expertise commands trust, and trust generates opportunity. Learning also supports ethical alignment. The everyday millionaire understands that integrity sustains wealth. Education refines judgment and deepens responsibility. When decisions are informed and principled, outcomes stabilize. Stability protects prosperity from collapse. Wealth rooted in understanding endures because it is supported by wisdom. Self-investment further expands creativity. New ideas emerge when the mind is nourished. Creativity opens alternative paths to income and problem-solving. The everyday millionaire encourages curiosity rather than suppressing it. Curiosity leads to innovation, and innovation multiplies value. Value attracts compensation naturally. Continuous learning also reduces fear. Fear thrives in ignorance and uncertainty. Knowledge illuminates options. With understanding comes confidence. Confident individuals act decisively. Decisive action produces momentum. Momentum attracts favorable conditions. The cycle reinforces itself. The everyday millionaire does not postpone learning until success arrives. Learning is the pathway through which success expresses itself. By investing in growth before visible reward, they align with cause rather than effect. This alignment accelerates manifestation. As self-investment continues, identity evolves. The individual no longer sees themselves as striving but as becoming. Becoming is relaxed and powerful. Money responds to identity more than effort. When identity expands, income follows automatically. Through continuous self-investment and learning, the individual remains open, capable, and aligned with expansion. Growth becomes natural. Income becomes responsive, and opportunity becomes familiar, unfolding through awareness sharpened by understanding and commitment to inner development. Emotio. Now mastery and positive money mindset. Emotional mastery and a positive money mindset begin with the understanding that money responds to feeling as surely as it responds to action. Thought sets direction, but emotion supplies power. The everyday millionaire recognizes that unmanaged emotion is one of the greatest obstacles to prosperity. Fear contracts, doubt delays, and impatience disrupts natural flow. When emotion is brought into harmony, money follows with surprising ease. Emotional mastery does not mean suppression but awareness. Feelings are observed without judgment, allowing wisdom to replace reaction. The everyday millionaire notices emotional patterns around earning, spending, saving, and investing. They recognize when anxiety seeks relief through spending, or when fear disguises itself as caution. This awareness breaks unconscious cycles. Once emotion is seen clearly, it loses control. A positive money mindset is rooted in neutrality. Money is not an enemy, nor is it a savior. It is a tool that magnifies existing patterns. When inner life is orderly, money behaves orderly. The everyday millionaire removes drama from financial matters. Bills are addressed calmly, opportunities are considered thoughtfully, and mistakes are corrected without self-attack. This calmness stabilizes outcomes. Fear is one of the most common emotional disturbances around money. Fear of loss, fear of insufficiency, fear of making mistakes. The everyday millionaire understands that fear attracts the very conditions it tries to avoid. Rather than fighting fear, they replace it with understanding. Knowledge, preparation, and clarity dissolve fear naturally. Confidence grows as competence increases. Gratitude plays a central role in emotional mastery. Gratitude shifts attention from lack to presence. The everyday millionaire practices appreciation for what already exists, knowing that appreciation multiplies supply. Gratitude is not denial of desire, but acknowledgement of flow. This acknowledgement signals readiness for increase. Money responds to appreciation because appreciation recognizes value. Patience is another emotional strength cultivated deliberately. Impatience interrupts growth by demanding results before foundations are complete. The everyday millionaire allows processes to unfold in their proper time. They remain emotionally steady during delays, understanding that delay is often preparation. This steadiness preserves alignment and prevents impulsive decisions that sabotage long-term success. Emotional mastery also includes releasing comparison. Comparison breeds dissatisfaction and distorts perception. The everyday millionaire measures progress against personal intention rather than external appearances. This inward reference point preserves peace and focus. Peace sharpens judgment. Sharp judgment improves outcomes. Money flows toward those who act from clarity rather than envy. Optimism is practiced intelligently, not blindly. A positive money mindset expects favorable outcomes while remaining grounded in responsibility. The everyday millionaire anticipates solutions rather than problems. This expectation directs attention toward opportunity. Opportunity often appears first as an idea or connection. A receptive emotional state allows these signals to be recognized and acted upon. Resilience is strengthened through emotional regulation. Financial setbacks are interpreted as information rather than identity. The everyday millionaire does not personalize loss or fluctuation. They respond with adjustment rather than despair. This emotional flexibility preserves momentum. Momentum attracts recovery and growth. Emotional mastery further includes forgiveness of past financial mistakes. Regret binds energy to the past. The everyday millionaire extracts lessons and releases self-condemnation. This release frees attention for present action. Action taken without emotional burden is more effective. Effectiveness compounds results. A positive money mindset also involves trust in one's ability to learn and adapt. Trust replaces perfectionism. The everyday millionaire allows progress to be imperfect. This allowance encourages action. Action refines skill. Skill increases confidence. Confidence attracts opportunity. Emotional discipline supports consistency. When emotions are stable, habits remain intact. The everyday millionaire does not abandon plans due to temporary discomfort. They understand that emotions fluctuate, but principles endure. Acting according to principle rather than mood ensures continuity. Continuity builds wealth. Self-talk is carefully observed. Internal dialogue shapes emotional climate. The everyday millionaire replaces statements of limitation with statements of possibility grounded in truth. Language influences belief. Belief influences behavior. Behavior determines results. This inner alignment creates external order. Calm expectation becomes a defining emotional state. Expectation without tension signals readiness. The everyday millionaire expects prosperity as a natural extension of aligned action. This expectation is quiet and steady, free from desperation. Desperation repels. Calm expectancy attracts. Emotional mastery also enhances relationships around money. Communication becomes respectful and clear. Conflicts are addressed without escalation. Cooperation increases when emotion is regulated. Cooperation expands resources and opportunity. Joy is not postponed until wealth arrives. Joy is cultivated now. The everyday millionaire understands that joy is a state of alignment, not a reward. Joyful action is efficient and magnetic. Efficiency produces results. Results reinforce joy. As emotional mastery deepens, money ceases to provoke strong reactions. Decisions are made from clarity rather than urgency. Stability becomes the norm. Stability attracts growth. Through emotional mastery and a positive money mindset, the individual aligns inner atmosphere with outer intention. Money responds to this harmony by organizing itself cooperatively, reflecting inner balance through steady increase, supportive circumstances, and opportunities that appear naturally within a calm and confident state of being.